Hey everyone, today I am going to share my review on the book Leaders Eat Last, Why Some Teams Pull Together and Others Don't by Simon Sinek. First of all, I really like the title itself. It actually makes us think like why should leaders eat last? And the book nicely and clearly explains this idea in such a meaningful way. The main point that the Simon Sinek tries to make is that real leadership is not about some power or position. It's more about responsibility and caring for the people you lead. So, and he gives us this with an example from the military, where the leaders literally like it last. They make sure their soldiers are taken care of first, and that creates a strong trust from the soldiers side and a part of a loyalty from the team. And in this book, Simon talks about more such things and a lot about something he calls like the circle of safety. It means that when people feel safe in their team or organization, they'll give their best effort and support each others. But when people feel fear or stress or constant pressures, they'll only think of themselves, and like the team just falls apart. They won't get together easily. I also found it really interesting how he connects uh, like the biology kind of things and human behavior to leadership. So he explains many chemicals which are in our brain like endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, and the oxytocin is a trust chemical. It creates good leaders and a good environment for people working in those environment, and they actually feel safe and gives the workers a separate kind of bond. And on the other hand, there are stress chemicals like cortisol, which makes people defensive, and it as a final outcome it weakens the team. And this part of the book was very interesting and was a variety one. Also gives many stories and quotes many examples from the military to large business companies, and it's about how good leaders sacrifice for their own people. He says that when leaders put people first, the people give back with their loyalty and hard work. But when leaders only chase numbers or profits or their own success, people stop caring. They don't care even a little. What I personally learned from this book is that leadership is not about being in charge, and it's more about taking care of those in your charge. It's not about eating first, it's about eating last, even in small teams or like a small friend groups. If we practice this, we can actually build a trust and unity. And after reading this book, what came into my mind is that in the Indian cricket team, why Mahendra Singh Dhoni was much more of a great captain than Sachin Tendulkar. So it gives us the two ideologies in our differences in the captaincies of these two. That's what really linked from the story I read to a real life example. And talking about the writing style, it is much of a simple one, and at the same time it's also very engaging. And many of the times I felt like it was a repetitive one, but it helped me to remember the key ideas in a much more better way. And one more thing I liked is how this books makes you reflect on yourself. Like while reading, I actually started thinking, how do I behave in a group or a team, and do I take the lead for others or just for myself? It gave me questions like that. It really pushes you to be a bit of more self-aware and also a responsible person, not just as a leader. And it also questioned me the leadership abilities during my school football team as a captain. So while reading books like this, we should be able to get some takeaways, and from this I learn to introspect myself and question my abilities. So that's one of the takeaway I really felt very useful, and it will surely help in my future endeavors. So to conclude, I would say that this book is really a good read for anyone who wants to grow as a leader. for an MBA student, it's like a must one. Even if it's in a business or even for a family life, it's a good one. It teaches that leaders aren't just born, they are made by their own actions, their own individual actions, especially by the small sacrifices they do for others. It really keeps them up. And honestly, it is one of those books that would that will surely stay in your mind even after you finish reading this. So it actually makes you look at a teamwork in a more leadership and teamwork in a more of a human way. And it's not just about success or performance, but about the care you give, the trust you compass, and the empathy. And if you want to understand what true leadership feels and look like in real life, this book is a definitely worth reading. And last but not the least, I would like to thank Melvin sir for suggesting me this book. Even if it's in a random way, it was a good read for me. And thank you all. Thank you.